Okay, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving straight into the fascinating world of elite athletes who are, quite frankly, completely shattering our understanding of the human body's limits. We're talking about professional football. You know, a sport completely defined by grueling physical demands, relentless sprinting, and just intense wear and tear on your joints. It's a game where youth is highly prized, and aging is usually seen as a fast track straight to the sidelines. But today, we're going to look at the hard data and the actual history makers who are looking at those biological norms and just completely ignoring them. So here's the really big question I want you to keep in the back of your mind. When is a professional footballer genuinely too old to score? Considering most guys hang up their boots by age 35, the idea of scoring a goal at the absolute highest levels of the sport beyond that age seems, well, highly improbable, right? Usually you lose your pace, your recovery time doubles, and the new generation of 20-year-olds just runs right past you. But as we're about to see, for a select few, age literally is just a number. Part 1. The elite late 30s. Take a look at this table. We have the absolute elite of European football right here. You've got Francesco Totti, who scored for Roma against CSK Moscow in the Champions League at 38 years and 59 days. Then there's Ryan Giggs, who played a staggering 963 matches for Manchester United, netting one against Benfica when he was almost 38. And Filippo Inzaghi, getting a crucial brace for AC Milan at 37 years and 87 days. I mean, scoring against the world's best defenders at this age is an incredible feat of longevity. Thanks to highly personalized nutrition and advanced sports science, these players aren't relying on raw speed anymore. They're relying on pure footballing intelligence and bodies that are aging way slower than past generations. But then there's Edin Dzeko. He took that late 30s benchmark and pushed it right to the absolute edge. In October 2025, Dzeko actually became the oldest Conference League scorer by netting a goal for Fiorentina against Rapid Vienna. At 39 years and 220 days old, he finished a low cross with absolute precision. Oh, and he's also the fourth oldest scorer in the Europa League. It just goes to show that even when you are knocking right on the door of 40, elite strikers can absolutely still find the back of the net on Europe's biggest stages. Part 2. Striking in your 40s. 40. Welcome to the highly exclusive 40-plus club. Now, this is a number that frankly defies sports science for an outfield player. Keep in mind, goalkeepers do occasionally play into their 40s because obviously their running demands are a lot lower. But an outfield player running miles every single game, tackling, jumping, and sprinting at age 40, that is incredibly rare. It requires a level of day-to-day physical maintenance that basically borders on the superhuman. Now, two absolute titans of the sport actually broke this 40-year barrier in top-flight European football. On one hand, we have Claudio Pissarro, who back in May 2019 slotted one home for Werder Bremen at 40 years old and 213 days old, which was his 196th goal in the Bundesliga, by the way. And on the other hand, we have the legendary Portuguese defender, Pepe. Let's zoom in on Pepe for a second, because during the 2023-2024 Champions League season, he didn't just participate, he completely dominated. Playing for FC Porto in his 116th Champions League appearance, Pepe secured a 2-0 victory for his team. And how did he do it? With a trademark header in the 91st minute of the match. Just think about that stamina for a second. At 40 years and 254 days old, after playing a grueling 90 minutes of elite European football, he still had the vertical leap and the raw energy to score deep into stoppage time. Incredible. Part 3. The King of Longevity. Okay, take a second and just let this number sink in. 59. Let me introduce you to Kazuyoshi Miura, affectionately known around the globe as King Kazu. Born in 1967, he is universally recognized as the world's oldest professional footballer. As of 2026, he is currently signed with Fukushima United in the Japanese J3 League at 59 years of age. I mean, the guy was literally born before the moon landing, and he is still lacing up his boots to play professional football today. It is genuinely breathtaking. And get this, he isn't just a mascot or a PR stunt. He actually contributes on the pitch. In November 2022, playing in the fourth tier of Japanese football, Miura broke records by scoring from open play at almost 56 years old. Actually, just weeks prior, he had also converted an 85th-minute penalty to seal a win. His presence is so massive that one of his matches that season drew a crowd of over 16,000 spectators, which became the highest-attended match in that league's entire history. Part 4. 5 decades on pitch. To really grasp the magnitude of King Kazu's career, look at this timeline. It traces a marathon journey spanning 5 different decades. In 1982, at just 15 years old, he leaves his high school in Japan, travels alone to Brazil, and eventually signs with Santos. Fast forward to 1992, he wins the MVP at the Asian Cup. Then, skip all the way to 2023, and at 56 years old, he's making his European debut in the Portuguese second tier. And we have to remember just how good he was at his absolute peak. He wasn't just a guy who stuck around forever, he was a genuine superstar. As this chart shows, he is Japan's second most prolific goal scorer ever, with 55 goals and 89 caps. In 1997 alone, he scored 14 times during World Cup qualifiers, virtually single-handedly leading Japan to their first ever World Cup appearance. Oh, and he even played for the Japanese national futsal team when he was 45. But pushing the boundaries this far naturally creates some friction. When Miura played in Portugal at age 56, he was subbed on for the last 20 minutes of a match. A TV commentator awarded him Man of the Match as a symbolic homage to his career. However, the opposing manager, Vitor Martins, neutrally highlighted a really fascinating debate. He called it offensive to hand out symbolic awards, arguing it turns the game into a circus. It really brings up a compelling tension between balancing competitive sporting merit with honoring a living legend who is actively rewriting biological history. When you look at the whole shebang, Miura holds a staggering collection of records. He surpassed the famous Sir Stanley Matthews as the oldest professional goal scorer. He's the oldest J-League scorer, the oldest JFL scorer, the oldest to sign a pro contract in Portugal, and he holds the completely unique distinction of playing professional football in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, and 2020s. He proves that this kind of longevity is achievable across multiple continents and eras. So what should we really take away from all this? Well, athletes like Dzeko, Pepe, and King Kazu aren't just breaking fun trivia records. They are actively proving that our accepted biological retirement age is much, much more flexible than we ever thought. With advancements in sports science, nutrition, and just pure, unadulterated mental willpower, the human body is clearly capable of sustaining elite performance far beyond that traditional cutoff of 35. I'll leave you with this final thought for our explainer today. If King Kazu is out there signing professional contracts and lacing up his boots in his late 50s, and Pepe is heading in 91st-minute Champions League goals at 40, what are the true limits of human athleticism? And maybe more importantly, what's your excuse for not hitting the gym today? Thanks for joining me, and I hope this inspired you to rethink exactly what the human body can do.